Hey, Beat Motel listeners. It's the sound of me leaving the door and then wandering around the street looking for my wife's car, because this is a gig review episode. Oh, there it is, not too far away. Better fold out the wing mirror. Right, so tonight we are going to see a Japanese band and a couple of local bands. We are going to go and see a band, I'm going to say is Asunojokei, a Japanese kind of black and hardcore band. A local band called Lebrique, which is made up of a couple of people from a band I really liked, and an ex-band member of mine, and another local band called The Grey. But first of all, I'm going to go and pick up my mate James. So I better start the car and go do that. Well, that wasn't a very dramatic sound, was it? Come on, silly hybrid. I'm a bit penned in, so I need to concentrate. I'll speak to you in a minute. Right, introductions. I am Andrew Culture. I am one of the hosts of Beat Motel, and the other one is Sam Page. He's off in Finland, so he's not coming to this gig at Colchester Arts Centre with me. Instead, I'm going with a friend called James. I know him as Pickle Tech. He used to make effects pedals for all kinds of bands, including some of my own. He's also known as noise artist extraordinaire, Talking Sleeve. One of his most notable gigs in Ipswich was when he made a pot noodle using contact mics and got the venue its first ever noise complaint. So, I'm now heading across Ipswich to pick him up. Right, we're now parked, walking up to the venue. Colchester Arts Centre is a medieval church. It's been a music venue for a long time. And I'm here with James. Do you know how old it is? How old's the venue?
As a venue, I mean, it was operative when I was at university in Colchester in the early 90s.
So, not that old, because I'm a similar age, and I'm going to say that only happened a few years ago. But it's a very cool place. I've seen so many great bands, particularly good for metal, which is, I think, why it's going to be a good venue tonight.
I mean, what extreme metal band wouldn't want to play in front of a massive stained glass window?
I think you've summed that up nicely, James. Okay, we'll see you later. As ever, I can't record the bands because that's naughty. But I do know some of the people in the band tonight, so I'm going to try and grab hold of them for a quick chat. Sorry. The dying moments of The Grey there. Oh, don't know what they're doing now. So we're just seeing an opening act, The Grey. Wow. I mean, I love any band that down-tunes and punches hard, but it's not often you see a band that have got so much colour and texture, and there's an actual journey to the music. I hate to make comparisons to other bands, but, you know, that's what you have to do as a reviewer sometimes. The first EP released by Pelican, I think it was called Untitled or something, had these moments where the riffs swoop down, and The Grey had that, but it went somewhere. I mean, when I swooped down, I mean, if the world was actually flat, these riffs would there'd be the sound of something falling over the edge of the world. The Grey took it somewhere. It travelled. There was colour, texture, depth. Well impressed. Really liked that. And it's the first time I've seen a heavy band use delay as an assault weapon. Absolutely brilliant. Not just like the shimmery kind of atmospheric stuff. There was a little bit of that, but just as an assault weapon, just bang, 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 rather than bang, da 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 da. Yeah, I'm probably not going to dwell too much on that, but it was very, very cool. I mean, I can't wait to see the next band, Lebrique. Really, really great, but that was a treat. Well impressed. I'm just coming out with nothing much at all now, but I'll try and put a video in the show notes, and there'll definitely be a link to The Grey. If you like things that are heavy but manage to actually shape a story from the heaviness, and don't tease too long for the mellow bits, but don't just put out with the riffs the whole time, there's a lot to absorb there, and I just recommend you go absorb it. That was Lebrique. I've got to step outside. So that was Lebrique, or Lebrique. I've been calling them Lebrique for years, but apparently not. Lebrique. That's how they introduce themselves. They are getting more brutal every time I see them. I kind of think, well, they're not metal. What are they? They're like Converge or some kind of hardcore. But the elements of metal are very much there. It's brutal. They're getting more brutal every time I see them. There's a treble attack that just punches you right between the eyes. And the bass playing, Ross, the bass player, I mean, if Colchester Arts Centre ever has trouble with subsidence, I think he might find he's personally liable. I've never heard such a sound from a bass guitar. But they're just punchy as hell. Good riffs, interesting little not funny bits like comedy, but, bits that you don't expect. Interesting little half riffs, instead of getting the full completion of a riff, it kind of plays through a few times and cuts through to something else. Absolutely fascinating band to watch. One of those bands where they just announced their last song and I was like, really? Are you sure? But just fun. It's aggressive fun. So Lebrique, I'll add a link to them. Just great, as always. I've seen them several times and just getting better and better. Definitely one if you're fans of any sort of Scandi hardcore or just stuff that just hits you between the eyes with double bass drums and punchy bits, go for it. Right, it's the headline band next. I'm probably not going to risk recording a bit of their applause, so the next bit you'll hear will probably be a review after the fact. Anyway, I'm going in. I'm in the graveyard at the moment because Colchester Arts Centre is a church. I'm going in from the graveyard. Colchester Arts Centre has the nicest toilets of any venue I've ever been to. I'm outside the venue now with Ross Now, I've been saying Lebrique for years.
Yeah, you can say Lebrique if you like.
Yeah? You just introduced it as Lebrique.
I know.
So how do you feel about it tonight?
Yeah, it's cool. It was cool. It's a different venue for us, bigger than we're used to. So, it took a little bit of getting used to start with, but I think we sort of eased into it.
Oh, I think you filled it okay.
Yeah? Oh,
yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. It's a bit tricky sometimes with a free piece to know whether, it's going to come through in a space like that, but yeah, if you say it did, then I'll take
did.
it.
No, your sound appears to be evolving. You seem to be more aggressive. Now, I don't think you've ever been a gentle band, but
no.
Is this a conscious decision, or is it just the way you're evolving?
Yeah, it's always been aggressive, I think, but yeah, it's a bit more angry maybe. But yeah, it's not a conscious thing, definitely. It's just when we're writing, we're just making what we think sounds good and what feels, fun to play and what we enjoy. So it's not, we don't think, let's make a real fucking angry song. We just it just comes out angry.
I shouldn't say you're like the least angry people I think I've ever met, but maybe that's where it comes out.
Yeah, maybe it's just suppressed anger.
Okay, so you did a recording was it just before lockdown?
Yeah, it was, we started recording an album just before lockdown, and we recorded all the drums, a little bit of all the bass, a little bit of guitar, and then it was lockdown. And so it took a little while to finish off. It took a couple of years to keep getting back into the studio and picking up bits and pieces. It's a bit of a shame, really, because it lost a little bit of steam.
It's hard to keep that energy up, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And we started writing new stuff. So the stuff that was recorded was like turning into old stuff.
So what's next? You've been playing with the Grey a lot. Is that?
Yeah.
I know you guys are friends.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty slack on getting gigs. We don't really know a huge amount of people. We've been out of the loop for quite a while, and the Grey have just shown interest in us and have been, really cool and like giving us some slots and on some gigs. And yeah, we really appreciate that because we really dig them, and we're looking to play some more this year. We've got another one with the Grey in Cambridge, but really we're just sort of, if whatever pops up that sounds good, we'll jump on it, and if not, we might sort of say, we're busy.
Excellent. Okay.
We take it easy.
So have you got any aims for the band, or are you just kind of taking it as it comes?
Yeah, pretty much take it as it comes. It's really about sort of three friends keeping in touch and keeping a friendship going, and having some sort of social life outside of family life.
Have you all got kids?
No, me and Lee have got kids. Little Bo hasn't got kids. Probably for the best, but I don't know if the world could cope with another little Bo in the world. But,
cool.
Yeah, me and Lee have got kids, and it's nice to get out of the house.
It is, yeah, very nice. Okay, well, cheers, Ross. Looking forward to seeing you again. that noise, Asunojokei have hit the resonant frequency of one of the toilet cubicles at the art centre. Here's what they sound like. Yep, that's the walls vibrating. I'm here with Kay and Nooney from the band. So, last night of the tour, how's the tour been?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, like touring with Boris, it was like crazy, and you know, this is like our first tour in Europe and UK.
Oh wow!
And every night with Boris, and also our headline show was amazing. There was so many great audience, and like audience was crazy, and I think, yeah. It was great.
It was great. Okay. So do you get to go home to Japan now?
Yeah. Like tomorrow we have a day off, and next day we are going to go back to Tokyo.
Because today you were in Glasgow last night.
Yeah.
That's a long journey.
It was.
Here.
But you know, we have like great driver, and he can do it.
Cool. So well, thank you for your time. Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
I'm a muggle in the scene.
Oh no, so am I. I'm fairly new to it. All right, I'm outside the venue, outside Colchester Art Centre, with James, my travelling gig companion, and Alex. So I've asked Alex kind of what he thinks of the gig, and he summed it up quite well. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay, thank you. James?
That became quite an emotional time. The musical intensity really grew during their set. The only thing I didn't like is they all look 19 and they're supremely talented, and they made me question my life choices.
They were very good. I mean, I've not seen them live before. A friend saw them at the start of the tour, my co-host. And after the first couple of tracks, I was like, this isn't quite what I was expecting. But as you said earlier, those first two tracks, why do you reckon they played those first?
I think that was a definite warm-up. You know, in terms of constructing a set, that sort of drew people in, and then as soon as it got to track 3 onwards, they just absolutely let rip. It got intense. All of a sudden the singer's foot on the wedge, screaming at the crowd.
It was unbelievable. I was really shocked when they'd finished.
Yeah.
Like, why they put the lights back on?
It felt like 5 minutes. It was like bang, 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 done. I was like, what the hell's going on here? It was so quick. It was amazing.
It felt like a band with a mission.
That's a lovely note to end on. Thank you very much, James. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, I would say that wasn't a gig, just a gig. That was a statement.